Gentlemen, welcome to Dell Technologies presents the Challengers Awards in association with Moneycontrol and CNBC TV 18 and powered by Intel. Please welcome Ruchira Sharma, your host for the evening.
Good evening, everyone, and a very, very warm welcome to the first ever the Dell Challengers Awards 2022 in association with Moneycontrol and CNBC TV 18, powered by Intel and with Ernst & Young as knowledge partners. And I'm Ruchira. Small and medium enterprises, as we all know, are the pillars of the Indian economy due to their considerable contribution to the GDP, to exports, and, of course, employment generation. They are indeed the heroes of our economy. In recent years, many small businesses But small and medium businesses can thrive if powered with the right tools. And that is what we are here for. With a mission to drive this progress, Dell Technologies launched this campaign. Less than a year ago, we began this journey, a holistic campaign to enable small and medium businesses to reimagine their operations through a digital lens and develop business agility. So over the last year, actually, we've had some insightful dialogues, some engaging conversations focused on exploring the critical role of digital transformation in building resilience. We deliberated with various and leading industry experts and visionaries, and there has been no looking back. On that note, I would like to now invite Ms. Chandra R. Srikanth, Editor, Technology, Startups and New Economy, Moneycontrol, to give us the welcome note.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for that, Ruchira. I've come in from Bengaluru to Delhi, and I'm really happy, to be part of this event where we are really celebrating MSMEs and their contribution to India. As Ruchira mentioned in her opening address, MSMEs, you may call it micro, small, and medium enterprises, but they are really the lifeblood of India. They are, the key employment generators. So all of you, please give yourselves a round of applause, louder, before we kick off the event. Because MSMEs, no doubt, are a key economic engine for India. And that's the reason why in the last few years, we've also seen the government play a pivotal role in really pushing MSMEs and ensure that they get all the support they can get, whether it's access to markets, access to credit, ease of doing business, or even social securities as far as employment in MSMEs are concerned. So Moneycontrol, in its role as a media house, is ensuring that this community gets its due by partnering with Dell, curating custom content, relevant content that will help MSMEs in their journey of technology upgradation. We're not stopping there. We also want to recognize MSMEs through the Challenger Awards and their contribution to India. Because we believe that the micro enterprises of today, the small enterprises of today, can become the unicorns and decacorns of tomorrow. So really, that's been our endeavor. And in my experience of covering both startups and new technology, it's really amazing to see the exponential growth and technology adoption that we have seen among small businesses in India. Believe me, this is not just a COVID phenomenon. The technology migration, the cloud migration is going to be permanent. It's here to stay, and MSMEs have really adapted to this really quickly. So our endeavor here is to recognize that and also provide a platform that will give them a leg up in their journey of technology upgradation. So thank you all very much again for being part of this journey, for being part of this evening. And it really gives me great pleasure to be part of the Dell Challenger Awards powered by Intel and Ernst & Young as process partners. We thank all participants and look forward to a fabulous evening ahead. Thank you very much.
So thank you so much, Ms. Chandra, for flying down for this. It's great to have you here, and we're looking forward to all the insightful panel discussions that we've got lined up. Moving on, we would like to, of course, welcome all of you here, all our distinguished guests, dignitaries, and our esteemed jury members to this very special evening. But before we move on, I would like to take a moment to actually tell you who are the challengers. Well, you can't say the word challenge without intersecting change. And that is what challengers are all about. They are companies who have leveraged technology and digital prowess to grow despite unprecedented turmoil. They have been brave in the face of change by using technology to maintain operational efficiency. They have realigned their businesses by deploying digital tools and have stayed ahead of the curve in the face of market upheavals and obstacles. And on that note, I'd like to invite Ms. Swati Mishra, Director and GM, Small Business, Dell Technologies, for the next keynote address. Please give her a big round of applause, Ms. Swati Mishra.
Okay. So, I'm a +1 from, we have flown from Bangalore today, so that's a +1. Good evening to each one of you. A very warm welcome to this very special evening where we are looking at recognizing our esteemed customers who have been IT innovators, the extraordinary IT innovators throughout the year and led us in the small business verticals. So let me start with some of the data points, right? India has known 7.9 million plus micro, small, and MSME customers, right? And that's the data as of March 2022. Now, one second. Okay, so now all of us know that, MSMEs are the backbone of Indian economy, and they provide, as, we were mentioning just now, that we provide employment to a very large number of our Indian people, right? And, they, not only that, they account for almost 30% of the country's GDP, and as per the latest reports, India wants to take this number, Indian government wants to take this number to 50% plus, right? So now let's talk about what happened during the pandemic. When the pandemic hit us, right, it hit all the industries, globally and locally. But which is the sector which got most hit, right? The sector that was hit most was the SMB sector, right? And, and this is a sector which was actually challenged in many ways during the peak of pandemic, right? This is a sector which was challenged. The top 3 challenges that the customers spoke to us is that basic things like access to internet connectivity, they had to use their personal devices as productivity devices, the lack of financial resources, the lack of credit lines, all of this were the top challenges that our customers were facing when the pandemic hit us. However, this is the time when most of the SMBs actually went digital, right? So if I have to go by the data that our reports tell us, from the percentage which was 29% pre-pandemic, when our SMBs who are actually digitally enabled, which was 29%, actually jumped to 40% in the first year of pandemic. And then there is the next 40% who are waiting to digitize, to go digital, right? So that's the kind of opportunity we are seeing, and that's what we have heard from our customers, right? Now, what is also happening is, can I have some water, please? What is also happening is that while a lot of our customers want to digitize, want to adopt technologies, they are actually unable to go forward on this because of the challenges they are facing, like the lacking the one second. Thank you. So the challenge that our customers are facing is the lack of IT infra that they have in place and the capital crunch. Now, this is where Dell comes into the picture. What can we do for our customers, right? I spoke about the challenges that the customers faced during this time, and now I'm going to speak about how we aim to help our customers adopt technology and to move forward in their digital transformation journey, right? So let me begin by talking about our Small Business Advisor program, right? Now, what does this program do? This program, Small Business Advisor program, helps our small business customers be able to take expert advice from a set of specialists within Dell who can help them to plan and optimize their IT infra better, right? And these are a set of specialists who are actually trained for almost 160 hours plus, and they are absolutely trained on technology to be able to help all of you, our customers, on their technology needs, right? And they're available through emails, chat, phone, right? So that's something that and this is, we're not talking about, charging anything on that. This is free advice, free consultation to our customers to be able to adopt technology. So that's something that we as Dell have ensured that we have offered to our small business customers. A recent survey in the Economic Times said that during the pandemic, almost 66% of our customers adopted online selling modes and means to be able to run their businesses. At Dell, we offer unique reward programs for customers who can actually avail discount coupons when they buy online, right? So you can actually talk to advisors through phone, through email, through chat. You want to buy online, we have ensured that we have all those offers available for you. A lot of our customers also came and said, told us that they, during this time now, when India is actually moving so fast digitally, they are looking at incorporating video conferencing tools in their daily operations. They want to actually enable digital payment systems to be able to do business with the end users, right? I want to let all of you know that at Dell, we are basically ensuring that we want to become a one-stop shop. We are a one-stop shop for our customers, right? We have ensured that when you talk to our employees, our sales teams, they give you the right solutions to be able to move forward, to enable your business to be able to move forward with your end customers, right? We have ensured that we have, and by the way, I just want to let all of you know that we have a dedicated SB sales team in India that's very unique to Dell, right? And we have done that to ensure that we show our commitment to all of you, that we do want to partner with you. We do want to ensure that we have a set of people who are dedicated in talking to you, in ensuring, in advising you the right business technology solutions and helping you to move forward to become a winner in the market. We also want to tell you, a little background about what we did during the pandemic. When the pandemic hit, and we have a lot of our customers, small business customers, who actually had to suddenly adopt work from home, right? And they weren't ready for it. So we very quickly ensured that we created work from home solution bundles for our customers, which enabled them, and these were simple plug and play solutions, right, which we could give to our customers. They would deploy, plug and play, and go live. So, as during these last 2 years, we have worked very closely, with most of you, a lot of you in this room, to ensure that you are able to run your business with all the capabilities that you need in the rightful manner, right? I also want to call out some of our customer names who are sitting here, because they are a testimony of our success, of the support that they have given us. And I want to call out the partnership we have with clients like Aries Technologies, Word Publishing, True Minds, QSS, Arete, IOTA Informatics, Adan Digital Solution, Concept Medical, to name a few. A big thank you to all of you for your partnership throughout the year. Some of your videos were playing here, and that shows the great work, the partnership that has happened between us, and how we have progressed through these last couple of months and years. Overall, I would say we help the MSMEs in India to be better prepared, to be more efficient, to be more flexible, to be able to handle the difficult times with a lot of resilience, and to emerge successful, right? That's what Dell aims to do at all times, and that's what we aim to achieve with each and every one of you. And to honor the great work that has been happening with each one of you, and to honor the leaders in this market, the innovators in this market, we have instituted these Challenger Awards. Our ambition is to celebrate the achievements of small businesses today. Challengers are those who thrive even when the times are tough and they can leverage their digital prowess. These businesses have not only remained relevant, but also have reinvented themselves using technology against all the odds. Okay. So for this, we want to turn the admiration that we have for some of our customers sitting here into recognition. And this is an occasion to acknowledge those companies whose mantra is in line with Dell's vision, which is enabling, enhancing, accelerating the businesses that use the power of technologies to drive human progress. So with that, once again, welcome Mr. Rane and to the event, and welcome to all of you to this great evening. And thank you, Ruchira, for giving me this opportunity to talk to the team. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Swati. That was a long list of partners, and you've been supporting their journey, so that's wonderful. But before moving on, let me first welcome the chief guest for the evening, Sri Narayan Rane, Honorable Union Minister of Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises. Thank you, sir, for gracing the occasion. We are delighted to have you here. And moving on, small businesses have served as a catalyst for India's thriving economy. Digital adoption has, of course, enabled small businesses to forge ahead and transcend geographic boundaries and connect with new consumers. The government of India has, in particular, has ensured that this section of entrepreneurs always gets their fair share of opportunities. Various policy changes that are required to help digitize Indian MSMEs are already underway. Some of them are, of course, Digital India, Skill India, the MSME Innovation Scheme that was launched recently. These are all helping SMBs become digitally literate and train their workforce to develop digital skills and take their business online while competing with their global counterparts. And to learn more about some of these wonderful initiatives and also celebrate the remarkable achievements of small businesses, I would like to invite the Honorable Chief Guest, Shri Narayan Rane, Honorable Union Minister of Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises, to come up on stage and give a keynote to our audience here. Sir, please join us on stage, and please give him a big round of applause, everybody.
डेल टेक्नोलॉजी नेटवर्क के माध्यम से आज यह पुरस्कार दिए जा रहे हैं। इस कार्यक्रम में उपस्थित आदरणीय विनय प्रभाकर, एग्जीक्यूटिव एडिटर नेटवर्क 18, आदरणीय एरिक डे, सीनियर वाइस प्रेसिडेंट, सम्मानीय राजकुमार ऋषि वाइस प्रेसिडेंट, सुश्री सुनीता नटराजन, सुश्री स्वाति मिश्रा, सीपी गुरनानी, सम्मानीय अमरीश सक्सेना जी, अजय ठाकुर, उपस्थित सभी देवी और सज्जनों, डेल टेक्नोलॉजी के माध्यम से आज एमएसएमई के जो उद्योजक ने अपने क्षेत्र में प्रगति की है, कम से कम कार्यकाल में जिन्होंने डेवलपमेंट की, ऐसे कई उद्योजक को सम्मानित करने का काम डेल टेक्नोलॉजी कर रही है। मैं जानता हूं कई सालों से डेल टेक्नोलॉजीज आईटी क्षेत्र में, आधुनिक टेक्नोलॉजी में यूथ को प्रोत्साहित करने का काम कर रही है। उनको पुरस्कार देने का काम करके प्रोत्साहित किया जा रहा है कि हमारे भारत के यूथ ने आधुनिक टेक्नोलॉजी के माध्यम से इंडस्ट्री लगानी चाहिए, प्रोडक्शन बढ़ाना चाहिए, ज्यादा लेबर तैयार करना चाहिए, क्रिएट करना चाहिए, पर कैपिटा इनकम बढ़ाना चाहिए, जीडीपी बढ़ाना चाहिए। भारत आत्मनिर्भर बनाने के लिए, भारत महासत्ता के दिशा में जाने के वास्ते इस तरह का काम डेल टेक्नोलॉजी के माध्यम से हो रहा है कि हमारे यूथ इस क्षेत्र में अच्छा काम कर सके, आत्मनिर्भर भारत के लिए मदद कर सके। और मैं समझता हूँ डेल टेक्नोलॉजीज बहुत ही अच्छा काम कर रहे हैं। मैं आज एक कार्यक्रम स्वीकार किया, मेरे पास वक्त नहीं था, मुंबई जाना है, मगर मैं थैंक्स करने के लिए, शुक्रिया अदा करने के लिए डेल टेक्नोलॉजीज का यह आया हूँ। जो काम भारत सरकार या हम लोग करते हैं, हम भारत के सभी राज्य में, सभी क्षेत्र में तरक्की, डेवलपमेंट करने का काम कर रहे हैं। हमारे देश के पंतप्रधान आदरणीय नरेंद्र मोदी जी ये भारत आत्मनिर्भर बने, भारत महासत्ता बने, इस कोशिश में लगे हैं। उन्होंने ये दोनों घोषणा उन्होंने दी है, इसलिए वो हमेशा हमें कहते हैं कि आप यूथ को प्रोत्साहित करो इंडस्ट्री लगाने के लिए। वो इंडस्ट्री आधुनिक टेक्नोलॉजी की होनी चाहिए और हमारा प्रोडक्शन है वो बढ़ना चाहिए, एक्सपोर्ट भी बढ़ना चाहिए। इस कोशिश में काम होना चाहिए और इस कोशिश में हम काम कर रहे हैं। इस कोशिश में हम काम करते हुए हमें डेल टेक्नोलॉजीज आईटी के माध्यम से हमें मदद कर रही है, इसलिए मैं उनको सभी को धन्यवाद देता हूं। और इसी तरह भविष्य में भारत के लिए, भारत के प्रगति तरक्की के लिए, भारत आत्मनिर्भर बनने के लिए आप इसी तरह का सहयोग और मदद करते रहिए। एमएसएमई के माध्यम से मैं इतना ही कहूँगा, हम हर क्षेत्र में तरक्की के लिए हम सभी क्षेत्र को प्रोत्साहित करने के लिए हम काम कर रहे हैं, अलग अलग योजना ला रहे हैं, अलग अलग तरीके के माध्यम से जो हमारी आधुनिक टेक्नोलॉजी उपलब्ध है। और हम समझते हैं अमेरिका, जापान, जर्मनी के पास जो टेक्नोलॉजी है वो हम यहाँ लावे, हमारे यूथ को इंट्रोड्यूस करें, यूथ को इसकी जानकारी देके उस तरह का काम या मशीनरी या प्रोडक्शन भविष्य में निकालने की कोशिश हम करेंगे। आप यहाँ उपस्थित सभी उद्योजक हैं, मैं इनको यही कहूँगा कि भारत सरकार जो अभी के सरकार है वो तरक्की के काम में जुड़ा हुआ है। आप लोग का हमें सहयोग चाहिए। मैं जानता हूँ, विश्वास करता हूँ कि हमें आप लोग सब सहयोग देंगे। ये विश्वास कर मैं आप सभी का, आयोजक जो है हमारे डेल टेक्नोलॉजीज, उनका मैं शुक्रिया अदा करता हूँ। मुझे यहाँ इनवाइट किया, मैंने मान सम्मान दिया, इसलिए मैं धन्यवाद देता हूँ। जय हिंद।
सर, आपका वक्त हमारे लिए बहुत बहुत कीमती है, and thank you so much for gracing the occasion. So moving on, I would just request you, sir, to stay back on stage to confer the first set of awards. I would also like to quickly call upon Mr. Eric Day, Senior VP Global Small Business at Dell Technologies. Please give him a big round of applause. And Ms. Swati Mishra, Director and GM Small Business, Dell Technologies, to also come on stage. And Mr. Binoy Prabhakar, Executive Editor at Moneycontrol, please to also come on stage. The winners for tonight are not just success stories, but they are stories of innovation, of agility, stories of challenges. And that brings us to the part of the evening that we've all been eagerly waiting for, and that is the Dell Challengers Awards. We had two categories. One was the industry segment, and the second was the special category. So let's begin with the awards, the first set of awards in the special category. And the first category is the Digital Innovation of the Year. So let's take a look at the AV.
Dell Technologies present the Challengers Awards in association with Moneycontrol and CNBC TV 18, powered by Intel. In the category Digital Innovation of the Year, the winner is Enphase Solar Energy.
I would like to now call upon Mr. Ashwin from Enphase Solar Energy to please come and receive the award. Congratulations. Thank you so much, and congratulations to you, sir. The second award in this category goes to, and that is for the Innovative Business of the Year. And let's take a look at the AV first.
Dell Technologies present the Challengers Awards in association with Moneycontrol and CNBC TV 18, powered by Intel. In the category Innovative Business of the Year, the winner is Cellworks Research India Private Limited.
I would like to now invite Mr. Girish Chandra from Cellworks to please come on stage and receive the award. Congratulations, Mr. Girish Chandra. And moving on, the third award for the Emerging Tech Leader of the Year. So let's take a look at the AV first.
Dell Technologies present the Challengers Awards in association with Moneycontrol and CNBC TV 18, powered by Intel. The winner of Emerging Tech Leader of the Year award is Harsha Jakkanahalli Vishnu Kumar from AKTPL India Private Limited.
Well, effective leaders are committed to turning their vision into a reality. May I call upon Mr. Harsha Vishnu Kumar to come and receive the award. Thank you so much for giving away these awards, and thank you, Honorable Minister. Thank you, Swati. Thank you, Mr. Eric, and thank you, Binoy, for being on stage with us. Thank you, sir. So moving on, small businesses are, of course, preparing themselves for big opportunities. And as we're moving towards digitization, there is a lot of change that is happening. SMBs are likely to add a whopping 158 to 216 billion to the country's GDP by the year 2024, all on the back of innovation and digitalization. So clearly, technology plays a pivotal role in the new normal, as it can enable small and medium businesses to actually catalyze their growth potential and stay agile. So the question is, how are small businesses preparing themselves for big opportunities while fueling economic growth? And to discuss that, we have with us Ms. Chandra R. Srikrant, Editor, Technology, Startups and New Economy, Moneycontrol; Mr. Eric Day, Senior VP, Global Small Business, Dell Technology; and Mr. Rajkumar Rishi, VP and MD, Consumer and SB, Dell Technologies India. Please give them a big round of applause. Over to you, Chandra.
Thank you, Ruchira. Can you hear me? A big congratulations to all the winners, and thank you very much, Honorable Minister, for setting the context. The government, as we know, has been taking a lot of steps to boost MSMEs in India. In fact, Prime Minister Modi announced a series of path-breaking initiatives a few months ago to this effect, whether it's improving access to credit, access to market, ease of doing business, or even ensuring social security for MSME employees. So a lot has been happening in India to really boost micro, medium, and small enterprises. But thank you both very much. We're here to discuss how context and countries can really change the notion of entrepreneurship, because entrepreneurship really depends on societal, cultural, political context even. Okay, I believe the minister has to leave. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Right, so as I was saying, the notion of entrepreneurship really depends on where you are, and we'd love to get a global perspective as well as an Indian perspective based on your own perception of how small businesses operate, or how their paradigm has changed in the last 2 years post-COVID. Eric, if you can give us a global view, how do you see what's happening with India, the entrepreneurship, small businesses here, compared to what's happening in other emerging economies globally in terms of how they've adapted post-pandemic, in terms of the challenges that they have had to overcome?
Yeah, thank you so much for the question, and I think you did a great job summarizing at the beginning, and it's so wonderful to come to India and be in India to see the great support that the government is giving to this part of the economy. What we see that's very similar is that we see between 35 and 50% of all GDPs are being held up by SMEs and MSMEs in all these emerging countries, including developed countries as well. And what we do see is there are three major things that we believe that are needed in order for this part of the economy to thrive. Number one, and the biggest one that we hear all over the globe, is the access to capital. Small and medium enterprises have got to ensure that they can have equal access to money in order to be able to ensure that their ideas can thrive. Now, what we're also seeing, which is the good news of all of this, is that when crises happen globally, whether that was the financial crisis in 2008, whether it was COVID in 2020, whether it's potentially an energy crisis right now that's happening with what we see with gas prices, we do see a lot of people leave, unfortunately, companies like Dell, to go save these and help these crises, to kind of ensure that if a crisis like this happens again, they're able to actually rebound much faster. And it's really amazing, whether it's fintech or biotech or now even kind of the dawn of energy tech. These things are happening, and what we believe is that capital is going to help these small businesses realize that. The other one is the access to technology. We have to ensure that technology is accessible. It is very difficult, no matter what region you're in globally, in order to be able to drive your business without technology. Everything is created on the web. Everything is created in the atmosphere. Driving a lot of cloud infrastructure is happening right now, and I'm sure we'll get to that later, but it is massive. And then we need to ensure that it's affordable and accessible to all businesses, especially in places like India, where we're still driving a lot of really good internet demand. We are still driving the cost down in order to make it affordable for these small businesses. And we're seeing a lot of that driven in a lot of the other developing countries as well.
Right. I'm going to come to the affordability part in a bit.
Of course.
But, you know, if you can give us the India perspective, I mean, there are an estimated 63 million MSMEs. What was their technology adoption like before the pandemic? And, you know, what has it been like post-pandemic? And do you see it sustaining? You know, is it here to stay? Or was it a COVID-induced change that they had to adopt and, you know, now it's back to business as usual?
Yeah. No, thanks, Chandra. So I think, as Eric mentioned, technology adoption, especially during the COVID time, has been a key factor how MSMEs have sustained themselves, right, during these difficult times. But I like to step back, and if you look at, you know, the India landscape, and those of us who are kind of born and brought up here, MSMEs have been a part and parcel of our life in every which way, right?
True,
Whether
true.
you look at education, look at retail, look at healthcare, any aspect of our life, you know, as we live through our, you know, day and our life, we get touched by these MSMEs in different manners, and it never, you know, kind of ceases to surprise me the level of innovation that Indian MSMEs have been able to bring in to continuously provide a better experience to their customers, right? Even during the pre-COVID era, you know, the way, look at the trading community, the retail, you know, segment, right? Before the entire e-commerce came in, and even in, you know, competing with the e-commerce or adopting e-commerce, there are hundreds of examples how the MSMEs have responded. I'll give you some of the examples. For example, let's say when we order a book online to, say, on Amazon or Flipkart, the way the book gets delivered to you, I didn't know about this, and I came to know, you know, recently that when you order a book, the books are not warehoused anywhere. There's one MSME somewhere who's publishing that book, or that books gets, you know, printed at the same time when you order and gets delivered to you in almost automated way, right? So that's the kind of technology adoption that has happened with MSMEs, how they have innovated, how they have partnered with the new, let's say, the e-commerce way of, you know, doing business. E-commerce has actually democratized the entire, you know, landscape, right?
Yeah.
And how the Indian MSMEs, as Eric mentioned, it would have happened in every developed or developing country. But, you know, there are hundreds of examples that we have here. And as, you know, our honorary, Honorable Minister also mentioned, the support from government has been, I would say, pretty strong during this time in various manners. So, and adopting technology in various ways, you know, is only going to make sure that they stay competitive and they stay ahead of the curve all the time.
And I think that's the critical point that you just said right there. The idea of the access to capital and the technology is that competitive edge. We are seeing everything from farmers to logistics companies to I can't tell you what industries that are completely flipping to the technology side in order to be able to analyze and get ahead of all the data that's coming in, so that they can actually stay much more competitive in order to be successful.
Even the government is welcome. Huge welcome to Mr. C.P. Gurnani. Welcome, sir. So, you know, the question that I was, a huge round of applause for Mr. C.P. Gurnani, a veteran of India's IT industry. Very good to see you, sir. I actually wanted to add to that, and the government's efforts, you know, towards the ONDC, or the Open Network for Digital Commerce, is also expected to give MSMEs a huge fillip and possibly more autonomy. So certainly a lot of steps from the government. But Eric, let me come to you. For the MSMEs seated here, you know, who have global ambitions, they want to go beyond India. What would your advice be to them? You know, how do they access the global market? How can they think beyond India?
I mean, I don't want to sound super repetitive or a bit self-serving since this is our show, but technology is enabling that so much more than it's done before. If you think before technology was at the forefront of innovation, you would have to hire people all over the world in order to be able to work with different governments, in order to be able to get your ideas across. All of that work can now be done digitally. It is unbelievable what the power of a laptop can do now in order for you to actually take your business globally. You can communicate faster, you can partner and negotiate quicker. And what I was saying before, what we are seeing and where Dell's strategy is going is it's all around data. You'll see Michael Dell, who we obviously consider one of the most iconic entrepreneurs ever. You know, his whole mission right now is to talk about the next data decade. Data is as important to a micro, small, and medium business now than it ever was, because you can use and analyze that data in order for you to stay ahead of trends, be able to understand how do you actually get into other global markets, because the data that you have been able to provide is better than the data of the competitor that you're trying to deal with. And you look at what Amazon has done, right? I mean, if you just think about it, Amazon was a small business, you know, 30 years ago. They're now one of the most biggest digital empires globally that there is. And so if you think about what the next 30 years looks like, it all drives out of being able to be around this digital curve. And I think not only are governments doing an amazing job trying to give these small and medium businesses what they need, but companies like Dell Technologies are doubling down on ensuring that access to technology is not a something that it would be a nice to have. We want to make sure that it's affordable and easy to get, because it's a must have.
Right. But Eric, you know, some of the common concerns around this migration to tech and upgradation is around system migration, data migration, and not to mention the cost of doing all this. So do you have affordable solutions?
Yeah, I believe we do. What we notice in the SME space is we notice that a lot of small and medium enterprises will start cloud native. And I think it's amazing what Google and AWS and Microsoft are doing to be able to give small and medium enterprises the ability to trade files and communication clearly from just signing up from an account. Unfortunately, as businesses get bigger and bigger and bigger, that data that's stored in that cloud gets more expensive and more expensive and more expensive. Believe it or not, we believe that we are offering technology solution to almost build a multi-cloud solution to actually help small and medium enterprises actually control their costs, help their productivity, and just like our small business that won an award earlier and has been featured, it's all about cybersecurity and being able to keep people secure and productive. And we believe there's a lot more ways to save costs than that. There's productivity gains, et cetera. And then we're also doing everything we can to work with banks and different ways to use Dell Financial Services to actually allow customers to ultimately lease and pay monthly for their technology, and go to programs like as a service to make it much more affordable.
Right. You want to add to that? Sure.
Yeah. So look, I think Eric makes a very good point on the entire technology adoption and the affordability of technology per se. Look, if you look at the India landscape today, there is a huge domestic, requirement that we have. Because of our demographics, the way our, economy is growing, we can have the entire industry which can survive on our domestic requirement itself. But to be truly competitive in this world, to make sure that we are, competitive at a global level, we need to, focus much more on exports as well. And the Indian government is actually supporting various, the Make in India initiatives, the PLI, programs which are coming for various industries. Those are actually supporting more export orientation and not only the domestic consumption.
Yeah, I read somewhere that MSMEs already account for 50% of exports and
they do
35% of GDP.
In many segments they do, especially the ancillary units to auto, sector and so on. They do. The other aspect is actually, where India has really kind of done well is on the innovations standpoint, right? So I think you spoke about in your opening, talking about innovation, talking about resilience, talking about, making sure that you're more inclusive. I think the key point there, I would say, and where, I would say again, India has done a good job, but we have still a huge, gender gap in terms of bringing women into, entrepreneurship, bringing women into leadership positions, bringing women into, the working class. We still are lagging behind on that. And I think that's one area where, actually... You
have a woman entrepreneur.
We have a, program called DWEN, which is Dell Women's Entrepreneur Network program that we have. We do support, it's both globally and in India. And, we do support thousands of women entrepreneurs into, supporting them in their, entrepreneurship initiatives. So my, feedback or my, input would be, how do we make the entire thing more inclusive? And that's a food for thought for, all of us sitting here.
It'd actually be great to see more number of women entrepreneurs in the room as well. Hopefully for the next edition of Dell Challenger Awards.
It will happen. I mean, we're seeing in places like the United States, women are actually opening small businesses twice as fast as men. I think the data I saw in India, it's almost 33%. 33%.
Because of the social commerce revolution, a lot of homepreneurs emerging from many small parts of the country. But let me also ask you about your plan for startups. Again, India has reached an inflection point when it comes to startup and unicorns in the country. We now have, 106 unicorns. We crossed the century mark this year. What plans do you have as far as startups are concerned?
Yeah, thanks for asking that. Well, first of all, I think what we also learn in the SME community is that they find it difficult to work with big companies, right? Small businesses usually like to do business with other small businesses because they understand what they're going through. I think the great thing about being a part of a big technology company that still has a founder that was a small business is that he is giving executives like myself and Rishi the ability to double down in this community because they know that not only is it the heart of the economy, but it's also the start of them becoming big businesses, right? So they actually flow through our entire ecosystem as well as they become bigger. And so we have just recently, on top of the Dell Women's Entrepreneur Network, we have recently launched in India and globally a program called Dell for Startups, where we are actually providing advising services and consulting services to the startup community around their tech stack. Migrating from public cloud to a private cloud. How do you build a hybrid cloud? What does multi-cloud really mean? These crazy terms that are being flown out there, we try to give the right advice. We provide certifications and trainings. We give early access to products. We give discounting and better offers to these folks to make it more affordable for them to get technology. So we're really excited about this program, and we're going to start going around the entire country, attending startup events, getting more and more people signed up for this so that we can give them access to this. It's almost kind of like our own little technology loyalty program for startups.
Hopefully we'll see you in Bangalore very soon.
I was just there. I also flew up. I'm surprised we weren't on the same plane.
Right. On that note, thank you very much. I hope that gave you an insight of, global opportunities, big opportunities for MSMEs in India. Thank you all very much. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Ruchira, over to you.
Thank you so much for that very insightful discussion. And I really like the point you made about women entrepreneurs. I think the next awards should be specifically for women entrepreneurs. That'll be great for all of us to see here, especially in the small and medium businesses. But moving on, digital transformation and the adoption of new technology is a very important focus for small businesses, as it can put them in a better position to ride out challenging economic conditions. Small businesses have been resilient and matched up to the best internationally. So as we unveil these inspirational stories, I would like to invite our guest of honor, Mr. C.P. Gurnani, MD and CEO at Tech Mahindra, to kindly address the audience. Please give him a big round of applause, Mr. C.P. Gurnani.
Hi, good evening, everybody. You know, coming in after this panel discussion, I did realize that Chandra has done a beautiful job of covering diversity, covering global trade. You know, the colleagues from Dell, they obviously, you know, did something that none of us had ever imagined, technology in a box to build a loyalty program for the medium-scale industries. So guys, you're doing a good job. Give a big hand to the Dell guys. For me, it's more of questions in my mind that I'm seeking answers today. The questions in my mind is, when I visit one of the largest refineries in the world, I see huge automation. I see total number of people working in that industry less than 200. And when I step out, I see thousands of trucks, and then I realize that every large-scale industry is equivalent to maybe hundreds of small and medium industries. Now the question again is, what has made Germany successful? What has made Korea successful? Is it the names that we all know? I mean, when you go to Korea, you see a Samsung, you see a Hyundai, I mean, you know all those large names. But when you go into the mathematics, you realize that 80% of the employment in Korea is coming from small and medium industries. Same thing you go to Germany. I mean, you want to know what makes a BMW or an Airbus successful. I mean, we all know the Maruti story and the Gurgaon story, that how Gurgaon actually grew on the back of one company called Maruti. So I am literally seeking answers as I speak today, and the answers that are coming to my mind are more related to how do I create a Maruti or a Korea or a German success story in getting a cloth manufacturer or a carpet manufacturer to skip all those old the intermediaries and be able to get him on a global trade. The answers that I seek is, how come the minister was here a little while ago, in his constituency, an onion is sold at 1 rupee a kg. And here, it probably comes at 30 rupees a kg. Similarly, you hear of rotten tomatoes or apple produce not finding the right place. Now, why not repeat it with the food processing industry? Because clearly technology can tell you where the produce is and where the demand is. Technology can tell you that if you are able to plan your logistics and warehousing, if you are able to plan your processing, you can actually get out of the clutches of not just being local. So my personal, hypothesis is industries at various points of time have flourished not only because of entrepreneurship, not only because they were flexible and adaptable, but somewhere some of us have to play a role of being able to encourage the local entrepreneurs to become national entrepreneurs to become global. And I'm happy that, Dell Technologies is taking some initiative. I'm happy that all of us are recognizing some of those who have shown us the way through these Challenger Awards. But this opportunity, it's not a challenge, it's actually an opportunity. The opportunity is to create not just 1/3 of the Indian GDP, but to actually create a 50% of the Indian GDP. And if we all take this as an opportunity, I think we are contributing to the nation building. And yes, we all know in today's environment, communications play a critical role. Now with the advent of 5G, with the advent of smartphone availabilities, I think we have solved that equation. We may still have a last mile problem, but that last mile problem again requires some innovative thinking. So when I stand here, I am conscious that what was made us successful 30 years ago is still needed. That means 30 years ago, we probably created those SMB manufacturing parks. We probably created export zones. We probably created small and medium banks. I think we probably have also created a level of participation where an individual can become a global player. But I think more important is now to go take a step further. We continue in all of this, but we have to take a step further. How do I help that entrepreneur with the tax regime in Germany or in Japan? How do I make sure that the manufacturer in Jaipur or Kota is able to adopt to the latest fashion trends? I think this is where technology will become the glue, is the glue. The more we are able to create those platforms. The other thing, we talked about the Amazon a little while ago. I think what is needed is the brand. How come one brand in France will sell for 100x of their cost of production or 10x of the cost of production? Most of us, while we are providing technological solutions, will have to start spending a lot more time on the branding part also. We, as a nation, has an aspiration to export, but if we do not create brands that are globally acceptable, and particularly the bigger challenge is not only for the bigger brands, it is a challenge for a smaller brand as well. That how do I create an opportunity? Not everybody can go to Hanover Fair, not everybody can, use social media and, position a brand. How do I create a quality hallmark which is accepted all over the world? So again, to me, branding, quality, exports, local player becoming national, all of these are opportunities. I'm glad that all of you here together will answer those questions. I am enthusiastic because these award ceremony is actually forcing us to think and also recognizing people who have conveniently showed us the way by thinking outside the box. So my congratulations to the winners, and thank you again for inviting me here. I am continuously learning, and I will continue to seek answers. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for those very inspiring words. And in fact, your words reminded me of a quote that you don't really build a business, you build people, and then people build your business. And definitely, SMEs can go a long way in supporting nation building. Moving on, the pandemic has specifically taught enterprises to be prepared for seismic shifts and for adapting to new age consumer needs. So as organizations have weathered the upheavals that were instigated by the pandemic, digitization has become integral to their responses and their future plans. Tonight, we are here to acknowledge the small business community's immense contribution to the Indian economy and also celebrate the IT innovators in small businesses. So let's take a look at the journey so far.
Small and medium enterprises, the heroes of the Indian economy. In recent years, many pioneers from Indian small businesses have scaled up their enterprises at the back of innovations with digital tools. To drive this progress and to recognize the star performers amongst Indian SMEs, Dell Technologies, in association with Moneycontrol and CNBC TV 18 and powered by Intel, envisaged the Challengers Awards. The awards will honor IT innovators across categories who have opened up new avenues of technological adoption and digitization for small and medium-scale businesses. Knowledge partners Ernst & Young curated the evaluation process and deployed robust methodologies to help our eminent jury panel in meticulously screening the nominations and selecting the winners.
Digitization is a very important and integral part of any business nowadays. COVID has taught us a big lesson, and especially to the MSMEs, which got hugely impacted during the COVID period.
Small businesses, particularly if we take small businesses as distinct from micro businesses, definitely are looking at digitization both in their operations as well as the outreach to markets and increasing the efficiency of doing business.
India now is certainly starting to lead the world in terms of tech solutions. The very impressive human capital who are contributing to India's growth.
This is an excellent initiative where all the right technology and as well as the social enterprises have got a good platform for them to showcase the good work that they are doing and also the social impact that they are bringing. So any kind of encouragement and awards like this will really encourage everyone to come forward.
So join us in celebrating the challengers who stop at nothing. Dell Technologies presents the Challengers Awards in association with Moneycontrol and CNBC TV 18, powered by Intel.
So ladies and gentlemen, that was a short glimpse of our journey so far. We had some amazing success stories in the Challengers webinar series. We had the MSME Summit. We had various webinars and covered topics like tech first small businesses showing the way forward, or small businesses adopting cybersecurity, and also how digital revolution can upscale and upscale SMBs. So those were some of the campaign highlights. And now moving on, as we talk about small and medium enterprises and how they have scaled up, we also want to recognize the star performers. And these awards honor IT innovators who have opened up new avenues on the back of digitalization. And for these awards, we partnered with Ernst & Young. We joined forces with them, and they were our process partners. So they curated the entire process and deployed a stringent and robust methodology to enable our jury members to select our winners. So let us try and decode and understand the stringent process that was deployed for making the cut. So I would like to now invite Ms. Pragya Srivastav, Manager at Ernst & Young, to take us through the awards methodology and the process. Please give her a big round of applause. Thank you, Ms. Pragya.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Pragya Srivastav. I'm from Ernst & Young, and we are the process advisors for the first edition of the Challengers Awards. So glad to be part of this event. I'll briefly take you through the process of how we had curated the entire awards process. And considering the first edition, we had ensured that the entire process is independent, credible, and robust across all fronts. In the first edition of the awards, we had two segments, industries and special awards. The industry segments was opened across 6 different categories, and I'm proud to say that we actually received an overwhelming response across all of them. Those categories were energy, healthcare and life sciences, technology, as everybody's talking about technology, so that was also one of the key categories we had in this edition, along with travel, logistics and retail. Special award categories, which we have already seen so far, the Digital Innovator of the Year, Lifetime Achievement Award, Emerging Tech Leader, and Digital Innovative Business of the Year. It was very important, as I mentioned, to have an extremely robust process for determining the winners. We had a 3-step layer process. The first was where all the entries received were scrutinized basis the eligibility criteria defined, and only the qualified entries were then presented to a set of screening jury experts. These experts evaluated the entries basis the eligibility criteria, the case studies, and the supporting documents provided by the participants. And after a lot of deliberation and discussions, the finalists were determined. These finalists had then presented to our esteemed grand jury members virtually, and there was also an interaction held where the jury members could clarify their doubts, and also the participants got an opportunity to present to the jury members. Post this round, basis the jury scores, the winners were determined, which have been felicitated today. On behalf of Ernst & Young, I would like to congratulate all the winners, and especially all the participants who gave us such a good response in the first year. I would definitely encourage you to apply in the future editions as well and make this award bigger and better every year. Thank you so much and have a lovely evening.
Thank you so much, Ms. Pragya. It is never easy to actually select the best from the best or the cream of the crop. But thank you so much for taking us through the entire process. And moving on, small businesses are, of course, ahead of the curve in the face of obstacles and market upheavals. But as they struggle to stay relevant, agile, and future ready, small businesses also need to scale up with the help of disruptive technologies like AI, ML, blockchain, and cloud. And small businesses are doing that to pivot to growth, and that's why they are considered and known as the true heroes of the Indian economy. So let me call upon Ms. Chandra, our Srikrant, Editor, Technology, Startups and New Economy, Moneycontrol, Ms. Sunita Natarajan, Partner, Technology Consulting at Ernst & Young, and Mr. Ajay Thakur, Head, SME, BSE. He's also one of our jurors, and we are very thankful to him for the same. Mr. Animesh Saxena, President, Federation of India, Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises. Please give them a big round of applause.
Thank you for that. So this panel discussion is called Heroes of the Indian Economy, and we will focus on building the conversation around the insights from the evaluation process and what they really tell us about the small businesses in India. So thank you very much, Sunita, Ajay, and Animesh. And we also heard some very interesting insights from Mr. Gurnani on tapping international markets, and also his point on how branding is also very necessary and also to tap into global markets. But Mr. Ajay Thakur, let me start with you. You know, besides keeping the economy running, small businesses also lead the way in innovation. So when you went through the evaluation process for these awards, what were your impressions about the small businesses in India, the way they're being run? Where do you see, you know, the gaps, the areas where they can do better?
No, I think many of these businesses are going on or running because of the innovation. We have seen a lot of impact during COVID period. And all those SMEs who have adopted technology, who were, you know, doing a lot of innovations, and who have got access to capital. Okay. Now, idea is no one's monopoly. Okay. But to execute or take the idea to the next level, to grow the business, you should have right access to the finance. The second, which I find that, you know, very difficult in many of these companies, especially which are located in Tier 2, Tier 3 cities, is getting the skilled people. Yeah. Okay. You can have the best of the technology, you can have best of the companies which are giving you affordable technology, but do you have got a skilled staff available in your company who can adapt those technology? Second issue which I found in the SMEs, though we are talking on various things, you know, using the right mix of finance. Most of the SMEs, you know, we are talking about micro, small and medium enterprises. We are talking about almost 63 million MSMEs there. But out of that, almost 96 to 97% are macro enterprises. Okay, they are kirana store people or having 4 or 5 people working in the company. Now, they can't adopt all these new things. Okay, they earn money every day and they use in their businesses. Correct. Then you have got a small enterprises, medium enterprises, whom you can teach, who have got 50, 75, 100 or 500 staffs. And they are also semi-skilled, some are on contracts, some are on their permanent payroll. But again, you know, they don't understand how to use finances. I have been last 10 years met almost 36,500 SME promoters. And many of them were not aware even about their balance sheet, that how much is the revenue, how much is the profit. So I think there are various factors which I think that stopping the small enterprises in their growth, and that also in the difficult period. Right. So I think that, as you have rightly said, I think as a promoter needs to keep his ears and eyes open. Okay, they should be more into the market. They keep on innovating. They see what are the challenges coming. And at the same time, they need to be visionary. Unless until they have the mix of all these things, neither you can be a sustainable business, nor you can, you know, export your products. And at the same time, the promoters need to focus on, you know, productivity. And they try to have, you know, best of the products available, which are acceptable in the international market.
Right. So when you say, you know, better use of finance, you mean more technology in the way they do their accounting or automating systems? Is that where you see a gap?
Wherever you can use technology. But at the same time, you know, most of these small and medium enterprises are over-leveraged. Okay, and they have got herd mentality, you know, they are more into commodities. Okay, so you need to be specialized in your business. Okay, unless until you have got a mix of everything, mix of technology, then you have the best financial mix. You have got, you know, knowledge about your products. You know what is going on in your surrounding and international market. You can't have a sustainable business model which keep on growing over the time.
Right. Before I go to Mr. Animesh, a question again for, you know, Mr. Thakur and Sunita. So if I look at reports from a year ago, they spoke about how 82% of small businesses have experienced a negative impact, and 70% believe it will take nearly a year to recover demand levels before COVID. So as you evaluate small businesses, do you believe the worst is over, that, you know, they are slowly and steadily staging a recovery?
I have seen recovery, let me tell you very frankly. You know, the way Indian businessman has recovered and they have started, I'm not saying they have not been deeply impacted. Most of the micro, small and medium enterprises.
But they've been very resilient and bounced
But they were
back.
very resilient, and in fact they are recovering. So I think many of them have done good. Even in our SME platform, which is running, I've seen most of these companies have started seeing an increase in the profit. So I think these are the good signs.
That's heartening to
Yeah,
hear.
they are.
Would you want to add to that?
Yeah, sure. The question is, will there be recovery? Is there recovery? There's no doubt about it. Yes, there is recovery. But will it be the same? That is where the crux is. So definitely, despite recovery, the platform is not going to be the same. So if we are of an understanding that life is going to get back to normal and my business is going to bounce back to normal, the small change in thought process, which will be required for all of these small and medium businesses, is that the consumer, when he comes back, is not going to be the same. Even with this recovery, it's not like the floodgates are going to open, but with the gradual growth, the constant changing factor is the demand that the consumer has today. Whether it's B2C or B2B, the expectation of what your business can offer is different from the time you left it, before the pandemic. Yeah. So once you're back, the same customer you offered services to is looking like a different animal altogether today. Their demands are so different. I'll give you a small example, right? Post-pandemic, the number of e-commerce websites that have come up, the amount of real-time expectation a regular consumer has gone by leaps and bounds. Just in the terms of technology, there used to be events that, as technology people, we understand the crux of it. But if I have to explain in business terms, every event, for example, a Swiggy or Dunzo that every consumer uses today, it uses data in motion. So there is analytics, there is a process of data that's happening when data is in motion. Never before have any of us heard of it. So when you're back, there is business which has bounced back, but your technology has changed. The customer's demands have changed. So it's important, like Eric mentioned in the panel prior to this, you have to think ahead of the curve. You cannot be reactive. You need to be proactive. Yes, there is recovery, but I think it's important to think beyond and say, how can I be better prepared for future? So yes, there is recovery, but life is not the same when you come back.
Indeed, life is not the same, and I think consumer expectations have risen sharply because we've seen what convenience can do.
Absolutely, yeah. Absolutely.
Ms. Animesh, coming to you, sir, in terms of the annual report of the MSME industry, it spoke about the humongous employment that the sector generates. It accounts, I think, for 29% of GDP. What makes a small business attractive to employees, and more importantly, how can you make it attractive for future employees and attract talent? When we are seeing this huge demand for talent everywhere, what can MSMEs do to make a difference?
See, in our country, if you look at the population, if you look at our population, we are probably the world's largest populated country. And the job scenario in our country, the government jobs are no more there, it's shrinking. Large corporates are mostly going for automation. They are not adding, and whatever jobs they are adding, they are highly skilled jobs. In our country, our education standard has not been that robust. So we have a large pool of skilled, unskilled or semi-skilled workforce. And where do they find the jobs? It is only the SMEs. Unfortunately, our SMEs has been so far not a very high-tech. We were low in technology because of the probably a lot of entrepreneurs also in SME sector, especially in micro and small. They were also not a very literate and very technologically advanced people who started their operation. So there is, it's an opportunity and it's a need also. Where is the opportunity? I mean, you cannot go to large corporates because you don't have the required skills. So option is the SMEs. And that's how the government has realized the potential of this. When the Honorable Prime Minister, when he has been talking about, everyone knows that they cannot absorb this and we are the world's largest youth population currently, where they can be absorbed. So that's why this skill initiative the government, they launched. And with this new education policy which the government is bringing, it is highly focused on the vocational courses. Like you can leave the education midway, go to some vocational courses, come back to the higher education in case you want that. So probably this is the only opportunity where this large number of people can be absorbed. And how we do it, we improve the skill levels of these people, and we handhold the small business. As Mr. Thakur said, out of 7 million SMEs in our country, which as per the data, 95% are micro. And how we handhold them. So it is the government where the government and the institutions' role come in. We have the issues of institutional finance, there is not availability of the finance, technology, awareness, and access to technology, and technology, cost of the technology. So these are the challenges where government and like Dell and these organizations can help us. And this will be the game changer for India.
Right.
Thank you.
Mr. Thakur and Ms. Natarajan, if you can weigh in. You know, you spoke about how we have entered a new normal post-pandemic, that MSMEs are recovering, but their consumers' demands are not the same anymore. How do you think MSMEs can adjust and prepare for this new normal?
So you want to take it? So MSMEs are absolutely born agile. That's the trend we see. They're born agile. It's actually up to us as technology providers to be able to cater to that agility. In fact, you know, Mr. Rajkumar here was talking about Amazon providing opportunities to small entrepreneurs. There are marketplaces today, like a Meesho, who offer platforms for homepreneurs who are not even as big as the ones that offer to an Amazon. Homepreneurs across rural India, tier 3, tier 4 cities actually. The adaptation of technology, all they need is a smartphone and their local identity here in the country. And you're good to go to set up shop. It's actually these heroes in Indian economy which create these platforms and marketplaces that boost the confidence of these small and medium businesses. Small and medium businesses even otherwise. India as a country is technologically very, very strong compared to anywhere in the world. Any of the local consumers, as long as they have the smartphone, they have the access to most of the applications. Technology providers today, like someone was mentioning in the earlier panel, it's not about implementing huge ERPs, huge supply chains, huge CRMs today. Everything is subscription based. Gone are the days where subscription was only restricted to cable TV operators. Today, every CRM, every ERP, every cloud provider is offering on subscription. Gone are the days where it used to be CapEx, large capital investments. It's OpEx today. Not let alone OpEx, it's pay per use. That's how easy. Yeah, absolutely. That's the SaaS revolution. So when the backbone and the infrastructure and the ecosystem is providing these facilities and benefits and the whole ecosystem for these entrepreneurs and SMEs, adoption becomes all the more simpler for them. As a country, as technology people here in India, everybody is born technically strong. In fact, maybe sometime during the course of our discussion, we should be talking about how, working remotely in tier 3, tier 4 cities, we actually have people who are so technologically strong, who are creating these codes for these portals. So all of this together is actually added as a huge benefit for us as a country. Not just for the SMEs, but for us as technology providers, but for us as consumers as well.
Got it.
Adaptation is just the smallest of our, ye baएं हाथ का खेल है kind of a thing, right? But the thing is, adapting and adopting has become a natural form for us right now. And I think all of us have to manifest this right now and capitalize on this opportunity in the industry. So this is actually the time for us to capitalize in the country.
Mr. Thakur, Mrs. Saxena, if you would like to add to that, your own perspective and perhaps advice.
Let us try to understand, we can't dwell everything on technology, See, macro, small, medium enterprises, we have got 24, 25 different sectors.
Correct.
Okay. And all these sectors are giving different type of products, and we have to use all these products, okay? And we have to ensure that this business keep on running in a sustainable manner, especially small and medium enterprises. World since the beginning has been disruptive. In some other way, it keeps on disrupting. Sometimes policy disrupts, sometimes technology disrupts, sometimes innovation disrupts. And everyone has to pass through all these phases. Now, what makes them sustainable? And for example, today, what are the challenges post-COVID? We are going through, volatility in commodity prices. We are seeing the gas and oil prices moving up. We are seeing, lot of tensions around the globe. And that is disrupting all the commodity prices. And therefore, the cost of production is going up, and which is shooting the inflation. That's why central bank across the world is taking measures, squeezing the money from the system. So these disruptions keep on going. Now, how I'm going to keep my business sustainable? That is the most important thing. And for that, what the small and medium enterprises should imbibe in their business. Technology is one enabler, okay? But only technology is not going to change the things. Number two, automation. Of course, that is the second enabler that the SMEs have to imbibe. Third, the companies should have access to affordable finance, access to capital, okay? And it should be a mix of debt and equity. If you keep on over-leveraging your balance sheet, there will be huge cash outflow. And then any disruption in the economy will burn your business, okay? So then you should have a proper mix of debt and equity so that you can keep on running your business. Fourth thing is, and that is very important, is, and I keep on always telling the SME promoters, keep on delegating powers. Okay, don't try to be the musician, director, producer, singer of your own company. Keep on delegating the powers to various people. That is very important. And be out of the company. Don't be into the, sitting in the cabin and, taking all the decisions. We have 24 hours only. So we have to, allocate the times on different things. I think if all these things can be done, I think no one can stop anyone to take the business to the next level. Reliance was at one point of time a small business. Infosys was at one point of time a small business. And let me tell you, in last 30 years, if anything has changed in India or, keep its GDP growing, it was service sector. It was technology. So it is not something. Second thing, we keep on talking about e-commerce, etc. We have to try to find out that we should create some e-commerce like Amazon in India itself. Okay, why we are unable to create? We have to dwell upon it. We have to think upon it, that why we should not have the best of the brand in our country itself, best of the e-commerce, best of the technology company. So all these things we need to think upon where we are lagging. And if we do the brainstorming, I think we can reach to the conclusion, and that can take this country to the next level.
Very interesting perspective, especially on delegation of powers. But let me come to you, Mr. Saxena. Would you like to add to that?
You see, it has been a very, difficult question to answer. What is happening now? Majority of the small businesses, they want to remain small. And
is that a bad thing?
It's not a bad thing, though. I mean, if a person who's controlling and into the business, what is wrong in that? If he's delivering and he's surviving, giving employment to the people, what's wrong in that? And what is happening in our country, if you see among the SME business, more than 90% are not in corporate structure. They are either proprietorship or the partnership companies. Because the moment you move into a corporate structure, and again, one more thing, in SMEs, you see most of the small businesses are operating not from the authorized industrial areas. They are in the non-conforming areas, they're from the residential area, because they get certain advantages. In our country, our laws are such, the moment you go into an organized area, your cost goes up, suddenly shoots up. You know the social security cost today, if you hire a worker and pay all the social security, is 30%. And it's a huge deterrent. So government has to be practical and rational in thinking about how to support this business. The moment he goes in industrial area, all sort of, property taxes, and why government charges something residential and something commercial? Commercial is 5 times. That discourages you to grow bigger and go to a bigger area. These are small issues, but they are big for the business to remain small. That's why, 90% people, they don't want to move into the medium. Another interesting thing, the moment government has certain, benefits for the small, like public procurement, 25% is reserved for small businesses. The moment you move into medium, this is gone. Facilitation council, where you can go and, put your case if your payments are not being made. The moment you're medium, you're out of that. So these things the government has to consider that. If you want to really promote the people from small to medium, you give them some protection. It should be gradually withdrawn. Not the moment you enter, it's gone. Give them some time, 2 years or 3 years time. Gradually they should move towards that. This is my...
Very, very insightful. Yeah.
I would always tell the promoters, never remain small. No, keep on growing. Because, again...
But they tend to lose benefits as Mr.
No, but I am telling you, if we start being penny wise and pound foolish, it is not going to work. And let me tell you, see, all these companies at one point of time were small only. They slowly grow big. So they always try to be big. Another thing is that Darwin 500 years back has written, survival of the fittest. If you are not going to be strong, you are not going to be big, one day you will be killed. So, and always understand, if you remain small, your margin is also going to remain small. So you have to become big.
The most important takeaway, if you're small, your margin's also going to remain small.
Instead of that, focus on bigger pie. Okay, focus on branding, focus on productivity, okay, focus on export, focus on domestic consumption. And automatically you will find that your profit margin will also start going up. See, 50 years back, we don't have same sort of facilities or same sort of interest rate that we have today. Okay, around 20 years back, interest rate was 15-17%. Today we have got 7-8%. So there are many facilities also which have gone up.
Yeah.
So if we start focusing only on those negative points, we'll never grow, we'll never move ahead. So there are challenges. We have to raise our voices, but we can't afford to remain small. We have to keep on moving. We have to keep becoming big.
Happens, but it's horizontal, not the vertical. A
Okay,
person
this
opens
is turning
another
out to be an
SME,
interesting
another small
debate
business company.
between medium and micro. What is small beautiful or is large beautiful? But I'm going to let Sunita have the last word. When we were talking about talent attraction, the fact that, remote working has become a way of life. People don't think twice about moving back to hometowns. In fact, many large companies and cities are now having a tough time bringing employees back. How can small businesses take advantage of that in terms of their ability to attract talent from small cities in India?
See, I'll take a step back, right? So, let alone bringing people back from their hometowns back into your offices, fancy offices in the metropolitan cities. We are now beginning to think, why can't we hire in those remote locations? Because we're beginning to see there's a huge base of talent other than the Bangalore, Mumbai, Delhi base.
Yeah.
We are seeing talent across the country. And this is giving huge, immense amount of opportunity for a lot of youngsters. So if we can harness this benefit, because it's come during, this is an opportunity during an adversity that we've all realized. Small businesses have to. If we've realized, I think this is a great opportunity for them as well. There are technology experts spread across the country. You don't have to, usually the metropolitan cities have these IT professionals or any of the skills that we're talking about. Horse trading with multiple offers. They have tens of offers and they're horse trading. Who's going to pay me the highest? Today you go to a tier 2, tier 3 city, they will, they will take it with like open arms and then worship you. And we see people from tier 2, tier 3 cities are way more loyal to a company as well. We've also started seeing trends like that.
Yeah.
So when that is the kind of talent we have across the country, irrespective of, which location, I think small and medium businesses should now open up. In fact, A great example is one of my customers, most of you might know them, the steel manufacturers sitting in Jamshedpur. They would never call us, we would never have a meeting virtually, never. It was always in person. Whether you took the bullock cart or you took the bus or you took the flight or the charter, you still had to go meet them for a 15-minute meeting all the way up to their offices. Today, even they're on Zooms of the world, and it's absolute, virtual is the way to go. And when organizations which were never open to virtual interactions are now opening up, this is also beginning to make them look at talent in remote locations.
Some unconventional
Absolutely.
pools of talent, yeah.
The hybrid model is to stay. I'm a big fan of being in touch with people, meeting customers, but on the other hand, this mix of having hybrid, a lot of our operations can be done virtually, so why have them come to office? Why can't they work remotely? So the whole opening up our eyes into this virtual world and the hybrid model is for us to harness right now, and small and medium businesses should capitalize on it right now, and I think it's a great time for it, and I think most of them have realized it already.
Right. On that note, thank you all very much for your perspectives on the opportunities, the innovations that MSMEs have done and what they can do going forward. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chandra. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you so much for that very insightful discussion. And truly, small and medium businesses are the heroes of our economy, and they have a long way to go, and they're going to lead the way forward for the other businesses to follow. So moving on to the most important part of this very special evening, it's now time to give away the industry-specific awards, for which I would like to invite our very special guest, Mr. C.P. Gurnani, MD and CEO, Tech Mahindra. Please give him a big round of applause. Ms. Swati Mishra, Director and GM, Small Business, Dell Technologies. Mr. Rajkumar Rishi, VP and MD, Consumer and Small Business, Dell Technologies India. And Mr. Binoy Prabhakar, Executive Editor, Moneycontrol. Please give all our presenters a big round of applause. Mr. Binoy. All right, he'll be joining us. But thank you so much for joining us today to give away these awards. And the first category is in the sector-specific category is the Waste Management Award. So let's take a look at the AV first.
Dell Technologies present the Challengers Awards in association with Moneycontrol and CNBC TV 18, powered by Intel. In the category Waste Management, the winner is 3R Zero Waste Private Limited.
I would like to now invite Mr. Shiv Rao Challa, founder, 3R Zero Waste Private Limited, to come on stage and take the award. Thank you so much and congratulations to the winners. The next category is the Travel, Logistic and Supply Chain category. So let's have a look at the video capsule.
Dell Technologies present the Challengers Awards in association with Moneycontrol and CNBC TV 18, powered by Intel. In the category Travel, Logistics and Supply Chain, the winner is Travotel.com.
We would like to invite Mr. Samir Patil, CEO and founder at Travotel, and Ms. Rakhi Agarwal, co-founder, CEO at Travotel. Please welcome them on stage. Give them a big round of applause. Congratulations, Mrs. Samir, and congratulations, Ms. Rakhi. Moving on to the next category, and that is for the energy, OEM, and industrial products. So let's take a look at the AV.
Dell Technologies present the Challengers Awards in association with Moneycontrol and CNBC TV 18, powered by Intel. In the category Energy, OEM, and Industrial Products, the winner is Visix ATG India Private Limited.
I would like to now call upon Mr. Mohan to come on stage and take the award. Please give him a big round of applause, Mr. Mohan. Yes, he's here. Congratulations, and moving on to the next category, and that is for textile. So let's take a look at the AV, please.
Dell Technologies present the Challengers Awards in association with Moneycontrol and CNBC TV 18, powered by Intel. In the category Textile and Garment, the winner is BH Innovative Equipment SLK.
We would like to now call upon Mr. Sandeep Kund, Innovative Equipment SIL, Innovative Equipment, to come on stage and receive the award. Congratulations, Mr. Sandeep. And moving on to the next category, and that is for healthcare and life science. So let's take a look.
Dell Technologies present the Challengers Awards in association with Moneycontrol and CNBC TV 18, powered by Intel. In the category Healthcare and Life Science, the winner is MedicVisor Private Limited.
I would like to now call upon Mr. Santosh Singh, co-founder and Chief Business Officer, Dr. Ruchika Jha, and Mr. Sandeep Krishna from MedicVisor Private Limited to come on stage and receive the award. Congratulations to all of you. And moving on to the next category, and that is for technology, IT, ITES, and telecommunications. So let's take a look.
Dell Technologies present the Challengers Awards in association with Moneycontrol and CNBC TV 18, powered by Intel. In the category Technology, IT, ITES, Telecommunication, the winner is TrueMinds Software Systems.
I would like to call upon Mr. Rakesh Vij, CEO at TrueMinds Software Systems, to come on stage.
I also have Sanjeev, who is our co-founder and CTO.
Great, great, Sanjeev, great to have you here. And congratulations to both of you. Congratulations and thank you to all our presenters. Thank you so much, sir. And Ms. Swati, thank you so much. A heartfelt thank you to all of you for supporting and acknowledging our winners. Moving on, Indian micro and small businesses sector, of course, has the potential to drive the future growth and the prosperity of the nation and improve the lives of millions. Today, at the flagship Dell Challengers Awards 2022, we have brought alive the stories of tech-driven innovation, and these stories have the power to inspire and make you believe that we need to stop at nothing. And digital transformation is no longer an option, as was clear from all our insightful conversations. This is a necessity to survive in the new normal. Technology is a win-win strategy for small businesses, and it is very important to step into the future powered with the right digital tools. So a big congratulations to all our winners. Thank you to all our jury members and guests of honor. And I would like to now call upon the Honorable Chief Guest, all our jury members, guests of honor, and our winners to come on stage for a photo op before we wrap up the evening. So please come on stage and let's have a moment. Please give them a big round of applause. Please, all the winners on stage, and let's have a photo op. Thank you so much. Thank you and congratulations to all our winners. Just as we close this wonderful evening, Michael Dell said our business is all about technology. It is also about operations and customer relationships. So adopting digital transformation is not just about technology, it is about people, and people are at the heart of it. With these awards, we hope to inspire all of you to become a challenger, just like we did for the many who are growing with the help of technology. So thank you all. You have been a wonderful audience, and thank you all for joining us today. It was a pleasure to have you all here. This is Ruchira Sharma signing off for the evening. Thank you so much.